enjoyed it.
So good, and now I don't know what it is, but it's like boxing has become everything, like my only thing. Like there is nothing else out there anymore.
3 defeats.
Yeah, crazy.
On the ledger. Which one hurt the most?
Usyk 2.
Usyk 2.
Usyk 2, yeah. Massively. But I respect Usyk.
Of course.
Yeah? I respect him, but it just hurt the defeat.
Are you able to look back at that performance, regardless of the defeat, and say, wow, good performance? I was ringside.
It was a weak performance by me.
I think so.
I wasn't supposed to lose in my head. And it just... I give my life to this game, man. I give everything. I swear to you, I give a lot. And it just like, even talking about it now, it just makes me feel like, just give everything.
Is it because you ticked every box? Like someone asked me, like obviously I was there ringside for that fight, watching it.
So even now talking about it makes me feel like, it chokes up a bit. It's like, when you put everything into something, and it's not easy, you know what I mean? As I said, like, 18, I decided to change my life differently. So, yeah. And the only thing we get credit for is winning.
Yeah, there's no silver medal in boxing.
There's no silver medal in boxing. There's no second place. You only get credit for winning. And it's like, and what I gave wasn't enough. I know myself, so sometimes I hear people talking, I'm thinking, you don't have a clue.
Those are the words of Anthony Joshua, as you guys can hear. That was a segment of that interview. The rest is on DAZN Boxing. You know, if you want to check it out, shout out to Ade for that interview. Much respect to him. Good question he asked in that. But what we heard, I want to counterpunch on, and I want to tell you guys what I think about AJ. Based on what I saw, I would post the video, the clip of the video, but of course, copyright reasons, I'm not. But you can see, if you guys watch, I can tell by watching AJ, the way he's responding. The second Usyk loss was a true meltdown. It was the rawest Anthony Joshua that you would ever see. And a lot of people asked about, oh man, AJ's fake. AJ ain't the real deal. AJ, you know, he's that puppet kind of made up champion that only smiles and stuff when everything's cool. You know, he's meant to smile on cue and stuff like that. I think he is a guy that's, you know, a marketer's dream. But what you've seen when he lost to Usyk was the real or a real emotion from AJ. And you can tell, I could see his eyes water up, like he's getting choked up. Look, that tells me something about AJ. I understand the Franklin fight. I understand now this Helenius fight. I understand the reason why these fights are happening, because he definitely needs a rebuilding stage. And I believe that, and I'm glad that guys, you know, ambitious promoters like Eddie Hearn, he's that guy that wants to make the biggest fights. He's one of the biggest promoters. He has the contacts. He's one of the biggest platforms, DAZN, Matchroom. And I'm glad that they didn't use Anthony Joshua like a whore. I'm glad, you know, I'm glad they didn't just throw him in there with Tyson Fury. Because see, Tyson Fury would have beat Anthony Joshua, because looking at what I just saw, okay, this is the 10th of August, okay? 2 days away, he will fight Robert Helenius, you know, in a second fight of a rebuilding stage. And you can tell it is definitely a rebuilding stage, because he needs to be rebuilt, okay? He needs to be rebuilt, because there's a lot of things that you can tell that ain't mentally quite intact. He's still shaking up about that shit, that Usyk shit, that meltdown. Yo, that was real. That shit he did, that he snatched his dad. Get off me. You know, his dad tried to, you know, hand him and help him off. He didn't want to talk to nobody. What'd you say? Somebody said something crazy to him, the older cat. You know, yeah, those were real. He stopped and went back into the ring because he's like, look, I'm going to miss a lot of money. That was that business side clicking in. But emotionally, he wanted to say, fuck all y'all. I lost that fight to this guy again. and I gave it so much. And I don't know how to take this shit. So this is how I'm acting right now. You know, and listen, this is no different than Deontay Wilder spilling at the height of his emotions to this day. Okay? Because he was angry about something else. Fucking Tyson Fury was getting to him, talking shit, getting under his skin, living in his head rent-free. And yeah, he exploded. So once you explode, you show who you truly are underneath and what's coming out. It may come out the way it's going to come out, but it's going to come out. And we can say, and I could tell you by AJ and his expressions and his tone, and I seen the water coming in his eyes, that dude still shook up about that loss. But what does this mean, though? What does it boil down to? It boils down to desire. I have seen all this video, this interview, and what I could grasp from it, people, is that, yeah, it was about the money. Yeah, he wants to get paid. The business comes in because he has to take care of the people in his team like they take care of him. I get it. But it has to be more than that, because you wouldn't go all the way over here to Texas and train with Derek James, the fighter of last year. I don't know if he's going to be the fighter of this year or the trainer of this year. The trainer of this year or last year, and you're going to train with him and to get better. So obviously there's something about AJ that makes him want to rebuild and makes him want to be good or great or improve or heal and all the above. Okay? And I think that he's on a right track, and I'm glad that someone like Anthony Joshua is taking the time to rebuild. Okay? Because he needs these fights. He needs the Heleniuses. He needs the Jermaine Franklins. You know why? Because he never had them. He didn't have these fights like that then, like Wilder and Tyson. Tyson and Wilder, they can fight bullshit fights like that. Why do I know? Because Deontay already fucking fought him. He already fought Helenius. He knew that wasn't a risky fight. They needed someone that was going to build or give the confidence back to Deontay Wilder. I'm comparing Deontay because he's one of those elite fighters of today in the heavyweight division. And they did the same thing, so it shouldn't be any shame for AJ to do it. Okay? So just call a spade, but that guy is still hurt. So you can tell there's still stuff to be worked out, and let's hope he works it out mentally so he can be prepared to what's to come. And what's to come are these big fights to where he left from. Bars. The Usyks and, you know, those fights, the mandatories, the Pulevs, the fights that he had to fight to keep the belts that he was trying to keep. Okay? That's what this is about. It's about rebuilding, rehealing, and restructuring. That is my counterpunch on Anthony Joshua. You guys tell me what you think about this interview. I will leave the link below in the description. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.